hit over the endless abilities. I looked at the week one, and that's when I noticed, like, the moon is low-key in Cap. After Cap comes Aquarius, and that is the season that we are moving into. We're moving into Aquarius season. Like, we're moving into fixated. We're moving into Saturn, where Saturn is hanging out in the depths of the waters. When you want to pull out your Inspector Gadgets real shit, and you're like, damn, where that one piece of light frictioning off another piece of current water, doing some goddamn radiology type shit. Studied that enough. Now they have radiology technologies and shit like that. But, you know, still in the waters, you gain so much out there that, yeah, you want to bring that shit back. Yeah, half of them goddamn equipments and shit, they be made by motherfuckers that's be out here making NASA type shit. Like, treating the body like a goddamn spaceship. Because if where the mind goes, the body is following. If that's what the body has formulated to, damn, what the fuck is the mind doing? What the fuck is the mind doing? So what's coming to an end when it comes to frustrations? What's coming to an end when it comes to Capricorn season? Because, honey, Nine of Clubs is also, Earth energy. So what's coming to an end when it comes to Capricorn season? What is coming to a completion? So let's start with Aries. Aries, one card only. Aries, what is coming to an end what's coming to a completion? So whatever card it is, it's technically going to be two cards. Add that together and make that, a 3 type shit. But, because everything is going to be hitting off that nine of clubs. So one card for Aries when it comes to that 9 of clubs. Because overall, everybody is coming to a completion. If you want to look at it as far as Capricorn season, going into this new moon, this is one of those new still dealing with something that's old type shit. Like, so coming to a completion, coming to even the fact that like shout out to Uriel, he out here talking about fucking 0 to 2020. What was it? 8,000 years ago to like 2022, like being a whole, just, honey, what's coming to a completion? So what's coming to a completion for Aries, Cardinal, Fire when it comes to 8 of Diamonds. So Aries, what's coming to a completion is a sort of gift that you've been spending a lot of time in. Is coming to a completion. It's coming to some sort of like end, is being, honed in on. Like the amount of, if you put time into something, it's like, damn, how much time do you put into something, before it's a time well spent. Aries can be, very hardworking. I've just from observing people who associate themselves with having a Aries sun type placement, I've noticed that they are very hardworking. Even for myself, I'm an Aries moon, and I feel like I can be very hardworking on my nerve, things that I have going on, like when it comes to like very, just having a drive, having a passion, having a motivation, having an intent. That's what fire also deals with, especially when it comes with Mars, one side being like one day portion of it being Aries and another day portion of it being Scorpio. It comes with just the Aries side of it, just because this is the Aries portion of this reading. Having that intent, having that drive, having that, that day where you want to see the light of it, where you want to see the light of, woo, child. Oh, it's really because I'm trying to let my curls do what it do, but honey, okay, anyway. Get out of here, Leo. Get out of here. We'll get to you. But yeah, Aries, one card for you for this 9 of clubs that's coming to some sort of completion is this passion, this gift that you've been putting time into. So that's coming to a completion. And not it being bright, that's not good. That's something good. Like, it could have been like 8 of clubs, something you working on. Which, like, motherfuckers work on their gifts, especially if if you're Aries and you like to initiate and create. Damn, that's going to take some work if you want to initiate something. It just in this 3D ass reality, it takes a lot to initiate something. It takes a lot. Even if you want to get to like rituals and shit, motherfuckers is out here being initiated into all types of shit. So look, and that takes work. That takes time. So that'd be 8 of clubs type shit. Bitch, get out the club, come into the diamonds, shine bright like a diamond. Like, that's something that you've been putting time into, that you've been putting into moderation. And also look out for that. Like, it may be things that you are coming to a completion when it comes to the things that you have been moderating, when it comes to your desires or things you've been putting into moderation. Like, so it may be some things that you had in moderation that it may be coming to a completion. You may not be so moderational when it comes to that shit. It may be something that, yeah, you had it in moderation, but now you got other things, other things that comes about, because, the 9 is just, well, like, let's not even get into the other things that come about. Look at, with 9 is what it is, and it's coming to a completion. So just get into that. Okay, Taurus. Ooh. You're coming to a completion with receiving frustration. So Taurus may have been frustrated, honey. Uranus is coming out of motherfucking retrograde in Taurus. So that's coming to a completion. And whatever it is that you've been receiving as far as frustration, or what it is that you've been building or working on, putting into a schedule, whatever it is that could be frustrating about that, or something that you actually have to want to see the light of day of, want to see that it actually comes into fruition, where it's not just a feeling, but just being in that moment of, yeah, you're receiving whatever it is that you're receiving, and that's being, like, honey, like, just in general, when it comes to shit that you're receiving, because you know that everything, your thoughts is not all you, like, you know that you are not your thoughts. 1. And you know that all your thoughts does not derive from what it is that you are calling you. You know that you can walk into spaces and have completely different thoughts. So whatever it is that you're receiving, coming to some sort of completion, coming to some sort of ending, whatever it is that you're receiving, that you're working on, that you have in a schedule and and routine and pattern, that, like, Uranus type energy, Uranus and Taurus being about that money, whatever it is that you're receiving that may be frustrating, coming to some sort of completion. And the completion is going to come, again, from the work aspect, the nitty gritty, and actually being in that. So that's for Taurus. Gemini. What's good? Gemini. Okay, Gemini. What's coming to a completion? Gemini, when it comes to the 9 of clubs, because again, if you're just coming in, I started with like overall, and that was the 9 of clubs. So Gemini, with the 9 of clubs, was coming to a completion is you being frustrating, you being frustrated, and you being frustrating, you learning whatever it is that you had to learn, that's coming to a completion. Goodness gracious, because the thing is, when you learn something, okay, it's only so much learning you want to do, Gemini. Like, yeah, Gemini, air signs and shit, you may be good when it comes to school because you can get into the logic and intellect, but damn it, sometimes your head hurt. And when you come into a completion of, whatever it is that you've already been frustrated with, and it's you actually, seeing you like something that you're not so involved with other things, is something that's actually coming from you being completed, something that you're working on, something that you have in a routine and pattern. This deals with you. So that 9 of club energy is directly related to you. Okay. Cancer. Cancers. Okay. 8 of clubs. So whatever is in a coming to a completion when it comes to being frustrating or having put into a routine and pattern and actually putting in that work. Whatever is coming to completion with that, Cancers, is going to relate to 8 of Clubs. So whatever it is that you're spending a lot of time in, whatever that you're spending a lot of time working on, whatever you're spending a lot of time scheduling, whatever you're spending a lot of time putting into moderation, you know, having things sketched out just for your soul energy, your goddamn, I have to sell my 8s. I have to schedule this time just for that. Whatever that is, whatever it is that you're, you know, actually working on, Clubs, that's coming to a completion. That's going to have some sort of 9 of Clubs type vibes to it, just spending a lot of time in like negativity as well. When it comes to, damn, I gotta spend a lot. When you have to spend a lot of time working on stuff, things can go wrong. When you have to spend a lot of time working on stuff, things can go wrong. But it's not about things actually going wrong. It's about how it is that you acknowledge things go wrong, and then you go about it in a way that you're still working on what the fuck your original, like what the goal was, what the project is, but with things in mind to not allow things to happen in ways again. So, okay. Leo. So what's coming to a completion when it comes to what you're working on is related to 3 of Clubs. So Leo, it may be things in your surroundings that you're working on. It may be friends. It may be like, you know, just people that you're familiar with, places that you're familiar with, things that you're familiar with. And being frustrated with those things, but that coming to a completion with frustration, not coming to a completion. So you may be frustrated with things in your surroundings, and maybe things that you're working on in your surroundings that's coming to a completion. So that could be what's up as well. You know, things that in your surroundings that you have completed from actually putting in work, from putting in that time, that schedule, that, you know, your resources. And resources is not only just like time, it can be your money, it can be, you know, your input. Input is so valuable. Okay. Virgo. Bitch, you ain't coming out. Okay. Virgo. So coming to a completion, you have it related to someone that is opposing, someone that is hating, or someone that is like you kind of dread because it is your opposite, but then opposites also do attract. So sometimes like it kind of gives me that Helga and Hey Arnold type situation where, damn, like that's like something that opposes you at times, something like someone that opposes you at times, someone like a place that's kind of opposite or has like opposing type views to what you got going on. But once you kind of get into that friction and kind of get into the fact that, okay, you know, just getting into the fact that either however you spin it, this is just the space that you're in. And yeah, there's space within space, and that can just be a space within space. So then you can just choose to ignore it or act like it doesn't even matter. But like ultimately, like this is still, you know, something, and you can choose to give your energy to it, and you can choose not to, and you can choose how it is that that's the tug of war of it. That's the tug of war aspect of like our opposition. So when it comes to things that's coming to a completion, you have something coming to a completion with some person, place, or thing that is opposing to you in some way. So that is for Virgo. Libra. Just because you do a fancy flip and not coming out. Okay. 3 of Hearts. So, 3 of Hearts. You have something coming to a completion when it comes to something in your surroundings that is a opportunity or an opportunist. That may be coming to some sort of completion where people, places, and things in your surrounding, they may have opportunities. They may have have connections or be able to connect to you in some sort of way. And those things actually coming into a completion where when you complete a connection, that's no longer just being in the space of, oh yeah, you know, when this happened, it's already happened. So Libras, the 3 of Hearts is just speaking about familiar connections. So, and those things coming into some sort of completion, those things coming into some sort of, from here, it kind of dissolves, but it's just like, dang, right, it transforms. To start to pay attention to what's coming to an end. Start to pay attention to what's coming to an end when it comes to what's frustrating you as it relates to things in your surroundings, your friends, the people that you're familiar with, and those opportunities, those doors that you can walk through with that, because you don't have to choose to be frustrated. You can, choose to be into what's coming to an end about that frustration. Like, don't act like you're not frustrated, Libra, but just, acknowledge what's coming to an end when it comes to those frustrations, because when you're connecting with people, you're connecting with someone else. When it comes to water, you got to understand, like, yeah, everything is like, water, bitch, earth is water, but the difference between you being in downtown Baltimore, bitch, and you being in fucking California. Those places is on the same fucking little piece of connection floating in a piece of fucking water. Bitch, those is 2 different temperaments, though. You can't be in that connection. You can't be in that vibe and not know, you catch the vibe. Bitch, catch the vibe. The fucking pigeons will walk up on you talking about nicks and dimes. And I'm not saying pigeons as a nickname for a person. I'm talking about actual animal pigeons. The animal. The bird. A pigeon will walk up on you in Baltimore. Bitch, catch the vibe. So that's with the water aspect. But the vibes and shit and those opportunities that you have to walk through those different vibey ass doors, you don't have to walk through that door, Libra. Choose your doors in which you want to walk through in your environment wisely. Okay. Scorpio. Scorpio was coming to a completion when it comes to what's frustrating or what you've been working on, because a club is not just frustration, and frustration is not just work, because work can be fun. And bitch, that is my vibe, because I have Capricorn, but I also have a whole bunch of other shit where, bitch, the goal for me is to go to work and have a good ass time. That'd be way more worth the money. Bitch, also pay me my money. Bitch, I'm talking bullshit. Like, still pay me my money, but like, damn, can I have a good time? And that's the vibe. Like, and I feel like that's not just beneficial for me. That's beneficial for the other motherfuckers that I'm gonna be there with, because the type of work that I like to do. But bitch, getting out of my Capricorn, getting into the overall Capricorn, because we're all leaving Capricorn season, what's coming to a completion is the opposition that you have with people, the opposition that you have with places, the opposition that you have with things, and learning how to tug a war with those things. So you may be in a space of, okay, let me just get into what's coming to a completion, what's preparing things to end, what I need to let go when it comes to people, places, and things. That don't mean, Scorpio, that you ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Shut up, because you'll be listening to that song and then these niggas ain't cutting everybody off, and these niggas ain't cutting nobody off, to the point that they have accumulated so much to that at this point that it's just like, a mess. Love and hip hop vibe. get into it. But when it comes to you, Scorpio, the people, places, and things that you may be opposing or may be opposing you, or just the communication, just the, you know, the unseen communication from other people is coming to a completion. That is coming to a completion. And get into what is actually coming, you know, what communication, what intellect, you know, what the side that you don't see. The side that you don't see, that coming to a completion. Okay, Sagittarius. I'm far from home. Okay. What's coming to a completion is related to someone that you are connected with. So just pay attention. Let me read that again. Start to pay attention to what's coming to an end or transform. And I got my little flight notes here with the numerology, because I really like that. I like that because at some point, once you get all the way up to 9 and it comes to the cards, at some point ain't gonna be no other number besides a 1 or a 9 or 0. And that's just my thing. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Pay attention to what's coming to an end or what's transforming when it comes to your connections to other people, places, and things. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to, this is for Sagittarius, pay attention to, and you guys already, you know, see and feel. So when it comes to that and knowing, you know, because, you know, they'll have a knowing, you know, they'll be able to see and feel something. And then at some point, because we're all experiencing Capricorn season coming to a completion, and then also like a new cuspy moon with Capricorn and Aquarius. And so things is coming new, but things also have to complete for something to be new. Like, you don't want to start a new project while you got other projects going on. And that be the messy part of astrology, where shit be wheeling around and shit because the U.S. started wheeling around right here, and then these motherfuckers wheeling, and things ain't never coming, or when they do come into a completion, it's such a transformation, and then it's just like, they just become like a monument. And like, they just become frozen. They stop wheeling around, they just become a monument. And then you go to the museums and you're able to learn about that time frame from 1367 to 2003. And all that shit between that time is now like been reduced down to no longer being like a wheel in the existence. It's just like a monument in like the esoteric museums. But bitch, when it comes to Sagittarius, pay attention to what's coming to a completion when it comes to the people, places, and things that you are connected to, the doors that you're walking through with, and it involves other people, places, and things, honey. All doors ain't good doors, and all doors ain't bad doors. And some doors you do want to walk through not by yourself. Shout out to Disney, not shouting out to Disney, because Disney will have you on a quest, bitch. And that, like, girl, you may live and die and never experience, you know, the Tiana dress and you walking down the step. I don't want to walk down the steps by myself. Can you help me? And can it be helped by your, you know, by, like, but then you got to go into the damn, like, what is the 3, 5, 7 steps that I'm walking up now? Because then you become attracted to motherfuckers that is just like, girl, like, now, like, you're just thinking about whole different other things. Now you don't even want a wedding no more. Now you don't want a wedding no more. Now that door is just completely closed. You didn't close that door, like, fuck that. I don't even want to walk down that door. And that door could have had many opportunities for you, but you was just so strong in your spirit to be like, bitch, fuck that door. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't want to walk up nobody's 3, 5, 7, 6, 7, 3, 9, 7, 3, 5, 7 stairs. The fuck? I thought this was supposed to be a good old Disney wholesome goddamn... Bitch, my life was rough. I'm watching Disney to have a good time, bitch. Not to be put in a goddamn good time. Come on now. Capricorns, let's talk. Damn. Like, just to go off on some Sagittarius shit, and I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there for the long judge, but goddamn, like, don't nobody want to be in Disney World for the rest of their fucking life. Oh, girl. What's coming to a completion when it comes to things that you're working on, things that you're frustrated with, things that is like earth type things. Capricorn, it's one of those things like if the girls. But yeah, 10 of Hearts. Get into what's falling from those things, the things that have fell into a space, the individual that now has more space. So damn, like you had to fall into something. Like if it's more space than the space that you already accumulated, then you have to then descend into that. Like you can't just like, you can now enter that. You can enter the fucking dragon, bitch. So like, here it is when it comes to those doors, and you have like fallen from some doors. It may be the things that's coming to an end when it relates to, you know, the things that you have already put to some sort of end, that you have ended up in type shit. Or yeah, you're falling in or like ended up in, literally, like you can end up in some shit. Hopefully y'all not ending up in some, you know, Capricorn, you're not ending up in some shit that is like a connection that you don't want to end up into. But dang, like if you given that, you know, you can end up in some situations that you didn't even know that you could end up into just because you're walking through those doors. You're walking through those doors, and how you walk through those doors, that says a lot. First impressions, you know, that's a real thing. And you can be impressed, you know, where, yeah, then you can, you know, actually be impressed. All the things will come about. But first impressions, honey, that's that first, you know, space where you didn't even come out your mouth. You walk through the door, and now motherfuckers have a first impression. They have that first awareness of you. And that is something before you open your mouth. But when somebody is first aware of you, you know, because you walk through a door type shit that other motherfuckers was already circling in type shit, so you descended into some shit. You didn't ascend because it wasn't like a awareness. You came into density type shit. So you're in the depths of, you know, bitch, you ain't gonna be there alone. You ain't gonna be there alone. You know, bitch, look around. You're not there alone. So when you get into that aspect of like, you are not alone on levels, you get what I'm saying? Like, sing that a couple times, like cry it out a couple times, like Capricorn. It builds the immune system, like crying to You Are Not Alone and Man in the Mirror, and like really singing those songs, but not like, you know, channel your cry, have your cry in a space where you want your cry directed. Don't be wasting them tears. Talk about, like that's a deep ass song to cry to. Channel that emotion actually where you want it to go. So when it comes into that, just, you know, yeah. I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna go to Aquarius. But just know that those things are coming to an end. Whatever it is that you have descended into, you have came into density as far as the doors that you walk into, those first impressions, you know, actually being dense, actually being in a form where people are able to, you know, see the density of you, see your accumulation, see how dense it is, you know, compared to other things, see how it separates itself. That's the thing with density. And you can see the density of oil or like a alcohol and water, and you'll see how it separates. And literally you can be in that crowd where you can be separated into like, okay, this bitch is just water, but bitch, everything is water. And then you can be oil, where it's like, okay, you know, you oil, that's what's up. Like you separate yourself, and you can be very beneficial, but you can also be very harmful. And then you have your alcohol, where it's like, damn, like you are potent as fuck. You are very potent as fuck, but goddamn, you will burn this bitch down. Where sometimes you be like, I need a little bit of water because damn, everything is made of water. So like, I can make this bitch whatever the fuck I want it to be. And then the oil's like, like you too slippery, you too slidey. Like sometimes like it'd be enough, but then sometimes it'd be too fucking much. And is there ever too much butter when it comes to certain things and how it's flavored? You know, the seasoning of the oil. So sometimes the oils be better than the goddamn alcohols, but then the alcohols bring the spirit, the spunk. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, when it comes to getting into density, bitch, you really be in the dense. So don't get lost in that shit. Don't get lost in that shit. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius. It's 2 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. Woo! Come on. I got a pretty young best Aquarius sitting next to me. That was everybody with Meg. Cool. Oh. Yo, Meg was out here. She was ripping and running these goddamn streets. These niggas did not know what to do. He didn't fuck around and accidentally shot her. They did not know what to do. Too far out. Too far out. Way too far out, dude. Okay. Aquarius. All right, 9 of clubs. So, damn, wasn't it? This was the card. So, bitch, what's coming to a completion is what's coming to a completion, bitch. What's coming to a goddamn girl when you want to get into the nicks and crannies? Hold on, let me get to my. Oh, bitch, getting prepared. That was one of the statements. Getting prepared, honey. We getting prepared for Aquarius season. Don't worry about us, Aquarius, bitch. You don't have to pop out on your own reading and talk about get ready for me. Reading about me. Reading about me. This was the original card that I based the reading on. So, yeah. Aquarius, what's coming to a completion is what it is that you, honey, been working on and you got completed and you got ended and you getting prepared for. So, okay. And Pisces. Ooh. Pisces. 8 of spades. So what's coming to a completion that you're like that's been frustrating or that you've been working on, that you've been putting time in, is something that you something that you've been putting time in, but it may have been opposing to you. It may have been like something that you had to like give and take with or really had to think about. And what's coming to a completion is all that time that you put into that, all that routine and pattern and scheduling and being frustrated. And now what's coming is completing with that is actually put into moderation, you know, the thoughts, overthinking about, like, spending a lot of time thinking, like, that's coming to a completion. So Pisces, that was the last one, honey. That was pretty much it. I'm about to wrap this up and organize these chords, but that was a good one. I might have to run this back myself, listen for a couple of things, but I will catch y'all when I catch y'all. See ya.